Hello my beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while that I have not posted a video. I have not forgotten about you. I've been out in this world discovering and learning more new things, and I am here today to do this video for you guys because now more and more people are suffering from some type of skin condition, and quite a few clients that I know are having their occasional or even frequent breakouts. Now I have this history with my skin where sometimes it just becomes so good, I have absolutely nothing, and then I'll get a flare up. It's usually associated to something either emotional. Nutrition has a huge role to play with our acne. Why? Because acne is a way of your body telling you that there is some type of inflammation. Now, I discovered throughout this beautiful journey that we call life that are things that are not good for my body, and my body has learned to communicate that extremely well. I have been a vegetarian for over 5 years now. I was a vegan for the first year, and even though I have incorporated cheese and egg into my diet, I still try to avoid it as much as I can and not overindulge, right? Because I mean, you know how it is. Everything in life is about balance. Also, I discovered that for my body, sugar really is a huge contributor to acne because it is extremely acidic and highly inflammatory. And I mean, come on, if you guys have ever tasted anything sweet and delicious, it is so hard to control yourself, especially when you're in a rush or you're going to an event or you're being invited or you know how to bake like me. So it becomes a little bit more challenging to control my sugar intake. And therefore, I felt that when I do consume more sugar, my skin really truly reacts. And I went through a huge breakout, and I would say that I'm at the tail of my breakout. I'm in the healing process, and it lasted about, I would say, almost 4 months. It was really bad and I broke out a lot, and you know how much I've done skincare treatments and taking care of my skin and making sure I'm repairing my old acne scars, and it's just something that I've become more aware in terms of my actions, in terms of what I choose to ingest into my body. And I'm not saying that I will cut out sugar forever because I don't believe in extremism. However, I do have a choice, and if I prefer to have nicer skin, then I kind of have to stay away a little bit more from the sugar, which means I can still have my sugar, just not as often. And I mean, of course, acne is just one side effect of, sugar and dairy, but there are other side effects, but we won't go into that. I'm sure there's 1,000 other videos on YouTube being able to explain all of that to you. Today, we are talking about covering up our acne, okay? Now, I spoke about the nutritional side. There's also the physical side, which means skincare. When you have combination to oily skin, you have a bigger tendency to have blemishes, acne, and maybe even develop into cystic acne. So therefore, you're gonna have these boo-boos that are gonna come and go, that will leave scars or will leave those annoying little red dots on your face that make it look like you're breaking up, but you're not. You know what I mean? So yes, I get it. And skincare is extremely important. Now, I had the beautiful chance to have this set of skincare given to me by my dear friend who is part of the team at Victoria Park in Longueuil, Quebec. And I've been trying out these products, and let me say, I really love them. They are non-irritating. The wash is amazing. If I just have a BB cream or anything like that, that will suffice. It will clean everything off. If I'm wearing a full face of makeup, of course, I'm gonna need to do the makeup remover and then of course the washing. It's non-irritating. I've used it daily and I haven't felt irritated or anything. The serum is divine. You really feel your skin plump and illuminate. And I felt that since I started using the line, the acne kind of started to balance itself out and went into more of my healing phase. And last but not least, I have my eye gel, which is great also for dark circles. So you want to make sure that you're using the right products around your eyes. Why? Because it's the thinnest skin on your face. Anyways, if you want to learn more about this in depth and you just really want to have a bigger understanding, you're in luck, because I have my masterclass that you can join on my website, and I'm gonna put that down below, okay? Yeah, also don't forget to click subscribe and share, and tell your other friends with acne to come and check this video out. So I'm gonna go through step by step on how to achieve a beautiful coverage without being too cakey, but enough to cover those stubborn acne spots. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so here we are. We're going to learn how to cover up acne. Now, acne, it's like a thing on its own, right? And then you have good days and you have bad days. So the result on covering up a pimple will depend on the product that you're going to be using, but also the stage of your pimple. Because you have the beginning stage when it's first starting, and sometimes you just kind of feel it and you barely see it. Then you have when it's super swollen and inflamed at its point. And then you have it sometimes if you've popped it or if it's popped on its own. So it's kind of building a little bit of a crust on top. So you want to be mindful of that. If it's open, don't cover it, because all the products will go inside and it will cause an infection. And needless to say that if you're using your brushes or your sponges and you're applying that right on top of an open lesion, what's going to do is you're going to transfer all the bacteria, and then you're going to transfer it all over your face. So this is for either acne or pimples that are covered, that are completely sealed, or even if they have a little bit of crust on top, but at least there's no opening for the bacteria to be able to spread. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can use various products. I really love using the MAC Studio Fix. I have the palette, so I'm going to show you guys. This is what the palette looks like. Okay, and there's different ranges. So there's medium, there's light, there's medium dark. Now, as a makeup artist, I have a variety because I need to use them for my clients, and also depending on the season, right? Because in wintertime, I'm always going to be 2 tones lighter because I get pretty pale, especially on my face. And in the summertime, if I tan, well, obviously I'll be 2 tones darker. And then you always want an in-between. So if you have 3 colors, when you're at those in-between stages, it's better to adjust it, or, depending on what's going on. If you're tanning, if you're going on vacation, then you can always adjust your foundation and your concealers to go ahead. Now, a good thing to note is that when you're covering acne or a pimple, there's always going to be redness. As you can see, this one is healing. These ones are already in the healing stage, but they're still red because there's still that inflammation there. It's going through that process of healing. They don't hurt anymore. They're fine. It's just they're red. So I need to use something that is the opposite, which is cool, in order to try to neutralize the look of it as much as you can. There are also green correctors that you would be able to apply on this, and you would totally neutralize it out. But if you don't want to go out of your way to have that step, you can do it with concealers. And concealers come in different shades and tones, and what you need to look for is a cool tone, right? Because if you apply warm with warm, then it'll cover, but it'll just show it out. We want to try to neutralize it as much as we can. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little combination of my neutral colors that I have. So let me just check this out, okay? And I'm going in with a little spatula tip because I wanna make sure that I'm just grabbing what I need instead of applying my brush directly into the product, because these are products that I also work with. If you don't want to also spread bacteria, this is a great way of keeping your products clean, okay? So when you do have acne, you wanna make sure that you are actually being more careful on the maintenance of your products because of bacteria. So you wanna make sure that you're washing your brushes and you're washing your sponges, because if not, all you're doing is spreading all that bacteria everywhere. So now I have here, it's an MFMA palette that I have, and I put my little swatch of concealer, and I'm taking a dual fiber brush. You could either go straight with a sponge. So I'm gonna start by applying it, but I just remembered something incredibly important, primer. So we're gonna try out this primer that I got from my BoxyCharm. So I don't know if you know about BoxyCharm. It's like this really cool concept for makeup fanatics or professional makeup artists to be able to sample full-size products. You know, you take a survey, they kind of check it out what you want, and then after you decide to choose which box you want, so you have the standard, the premium, or the luxe, and according to what you pay, you'll get a little bit more perks, you'll get more of this, more of that. So I have the premium one, and in my premium box, I received this LYS, I guess, LYS, Secure Skin Gripping Serum Primer. So this is pretty cool because it's a serum and a primer, and it's made for oily skin or combination skin. So remember, my acne friends, I'm applying it with my hands because it's me. So you just take your primer, put it between your fingers, you know, transfer it like that evenly, and just work it into your skin. Oh wow, I really feel like they're doing a grip on my skin. That's really awesome. When you have acne prone skin, you normally have combination to oily skin. You need that hydration because oil is oil and water is water. Oh. Now that we've primed the skin and prepped the skin, why? This is a very important step, and you can learn more about this on my online masterclass that I have, and I'm gonna put the link down below. Priming the skin is important because it's gonna help to secure your makeup on for the full day. Capiche? So let's do this. So I'm gonna apply with my dual fiber brush, and I'm just gonna do little dots where I feel like I need this extra coverage. When I have like really more faded out acne scars or pimples, then sometimes just solely with the foundation, maybe a tiny little touch of concealer, or I'll just double up on my foundation where I feel like I need more coverage. That will suffice. But when they're a bit more aggressive and a bit more red, I want to make sure that I'm also adding that extra layer of coverage to camouflage, and this will just help cover it, and then when you put the foundation, it doesn't look too cakey instead of putting like layers and layers of foundation. So we just need to attack what needs to be attacked. And of course, don't forget your lovely sponge. You know what's so cool? I was looking at this YouTube video, I forgot the name of the makeup artist, and he was saying that he used some sponges from Shein. I'm sure you know what Shein is, right? They sell all kinds of stuff. So I got my little sponges there. I actually got like a whole disposable spoolies for me and for my girls. I got a whole bunch of stuff. So he said that they had really good sponges, and I said, hey, let me give it a shot. And I put in an order through, and this is the first time I'm actually using it, I'm not gonna lie. And this one is really cool. It's called Beauty Sponge, and it comes in a pack of 10 pieces, and they're super affordable. So, you know, if you have acne prone skin, sensitive skin, you're gonna wanna change these sponges, aside from the fact that you're going to be, you know, obviously washing them, but you don't wanna keep them for too long either. You wanna make sure that you're still changing them depending on the frequency of how often you apply your makeup. So see here, we already have a nice coverage going on. So I'm gonna be a little bit extra picky, and I'm just gonna go over these little tiny ones just a bit more to get a bit more coverage, because I don't wanna put too much foundation. When you have oily skin, you have the sensation, especially if you're not doing the proper skincare. Guys, don't forget, skincare is super important, and I say it everywhere, and I say it in my masterclass more in detail on the reasons why, but it is very important, especially when you have this type of skin, because it needs more attention. So there is a solution for everything. So you see, you just put wherever you feel that you have your little acne boo-boos or pigmentation. You know, this could also be for sunspots. You know, for some people who have more pigmented sunspots, you kind of do the same thing. Same concept, and then you can just apply a very thin layer of concealer to even it out. Going around the nose because I'm like, why not? Here, I always have redness around my eyes, so I'll just put a tiny little bit of this one. But for the eyes, I rather stick to another product. I find this a bit too heavy for under my eyes, but however, it's a great solution for someone who does have very dark circles and a lot of pigmentation under their eyes. I've used it, and when used properly, it can do a lot. So now we covered our acne. I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way Matte Oil-Free Foundation. I love this foundation. You know, I use the Born This Way regular. I've tried it for myself and I love it. But it is more of a natural finish, which can be great, let's say in winter. Winter is perfect because I'm less oily. But I discovered the matte ones and I decided to give it a shot because I'm like, you know, why not? Both formulas are oil-free, so that's what's really great. And I just love the finish because I find that sometimes personally for matte foundations, I feel that they're always going to like be way too thick, and then it's like, it winds up looking cakey. And as we age, you know, we want to make sure that we're not enhancing that. If anything, we're alleviating that. And remember guys, beauty doesn't just come from makeup, hairstyling, clothing. It's really how you feel inside. So it's always important to feel confident inside and to truly believe in that. And like that, it's gonna radiate whether you have your makeup on or you don't, you know? Don't let those things get to you because honestly, it doesn't matter. It's just a body. Take care of it, love it, respect it, you know, and everything else is just gonna like magically grow from there. So that's my advice. So as you see, what I'm doing is I put a little bit of my foundation on my plate. You could drop it on the face. Now the thing with that, by dropping it on the face, is that sometimes you can miss it and it goes on your clothes, and it is so annoying to get foundation out of your material. So, you know, you could do that. You could drop it straight onto your sponge, but the sponge absorbs more product, okay? So you wanna make sure that you wanna be cautious because these products, you know, they're not for free. And I'm sure any of my makeup fanatics out there or makeup artists, you guys know when you go to like Sephora, it's like $1 zillion and you get like the small bag and you're like, what? Yeah. So I'm just like dabbing this lightly all over my face and just kind of merging everything together so it could just be one smooth finish. Foundation will kind of like bring that all in. You know, there is really no right or wrong way. If you get it done properly and it looks beautiful, well then good for you. But there are ways to improve techniques. There are ways to minimize on product usage so you can have more usage out of your products. And sometimes, you know, if you are looking for a more refined result, then you'll find that as well. As they famously say, less is more. See, so when you go around your acne, the thing is that now that we're going with the sponge, just make sure that you put a bit less pressure. I put a bit too much pressure and I felt like I took a bit off of my coverage right now, so I'm gonna have to kind of retouch that. Because you have to think of it, you're doing layers. So remember our first layer was the primer, obviously. Then we did the concealer. And now we're doing the foundation. You see, when you just, if you have a little bit left on your little palette, you just go back with it and you mix it. That's what's cool about having a palette. It's much cleaner at the end. You don't have to dirty your hands. You don't have to like spill it on your clothes or on your furniture. And it's there. And then you just clean it up. It's like super easy to use. When you want to build a bit more coverage, like I said, just go over the spots where you feel that you want a bit more coverage. Usually you want to go more lighter, like around the eyes and the forehead, because that can make it look heavier. Always make sure when you do have acne prone skin that the makeup and the products that you're using are oil free and they're good for your type of skin. And as well, the biggest indicator of what's good for you or not will be your skin. So let your skin also tell you. You should probably keep to a regimen for at least maybe a good 3 months, I would say, to give your skin the chance to truly adapt and see. But definitely a good skincare line, you will already probably feel the difference from the first wash, you know? Because you're gonna feel like, oh my God, this feels so much better on my skin. I already feel it like less tight, it feels more balanced. And then the skin is going to kind of readapt itself because it does regenerate every 28 days. So give it time to also do its thing. So now I applied the foundation and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna apply a little bit of concealer. For the concealer, I'm going for something that is a bit more hydrating and a bit more of a natural finish to it because I do want my under eyes to be more luminous. Therefore, by doing so, it's gonna just create a softer look on the appearance of my skin. And then set it gently with a setting powder. If ever you feel that you need to reapply, you can just go ahead and apply where needed. You do the first one, you apply a little bit over, you start in the interior to the exterior, you blend that in. And usually you're gonna need a little bit more coverage on the interior. So for under the eyes, just gonna set that in. Now I'm going to use my Divaclassique powder brush and just set it with my Studio Fix compact powder in C5. And don't forget to lock that in. Well, there you have it, guys. That was my tutorial on how to cover your acne. I hope this helped you out. And if you want to learn more, don't forget you can join my masterclass. The information is down on the link below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and that little bell, notification bell, because I'm going to have more content coming out for you and I'm going to be reviewing these BoxyCharm products. Take care, guys. I love you so much. I'm so happy to be back. This is super exciting and can't wait to see you soon. Ciao.